30 chainsaws going and 20 bobcats and probably 15 dump trucks and 200 employees. I had 250 employees actually working. I had 100 employees who showed up without being scheduled that Monday morning, which was pretty gratifying. And so we put 6,000 hours in the first 3 days, and because we had a commitment to make. We had a little girl who lives down the lake who had been trying to get married here, or planned to get married here since she was 14 years old. Oh. And her wedding was that Saturday. She had 300 people coming, and we had 3 weddings that Saturday, but hers was the one that was special because, again, she's a neighbor who'd been planning, that's walking down our staircase since she was 14. And so we said that was our kind of our rallying cry. We were going to make that wedding work. So by Saturday at 1 o'clock, the stairway looked the same as it did in the brochure. It was amazing how we had guests who just would not leave. They said, we'll camp. And so the first thing we did is we put our beach back together, which was destroyed. We had that going by 9 o'clock. So the theory was if they could sit at the beach and look at the lake, they didn't have to see the mayhem going on behind them. And then we opened our restaurant with the limited food we had with grills and just gave away all of our food that we were going to lose anyway, and then just started giving away food. Everyone who stayed here ate for free, until the power came back on.
3 resorts are looking better all the time, but you just go a little bit out and it's like, what a mess. You know, this is going to take forever. There is no better way to go through the center of the storm like ground zero than on those trails right now.
Okay, well, that's what I'm doing. No, really, it's very important to see what we can do to help.
The emergency management side of it, how well it worked for Crow Wing County, and kind of, you put those things to test, but you don't know until you actually
Right, and it's helpful to know.
In the past, as you probably heard, sometimes the state will come in and help areas when the federal government can't, but I know FEMA was involved, or Homeland Security was involved. We were just talking about it and helping with the cleanup. So I want to know what's happening, any concerns you have, what we can do going forward, and mostly hearing some of these stories of resiliency.
Ours is a little different. We had about almost 700 guests staying at the resort as well over that Sunday night, and we had just had a large corporate group check in. So it's kind of the shortest corporate group stay in the history of Cragun's. It was actually early Ford V8, so it was Ford antique cars from the 30s to the 50s.
And the cars were there too? And
the cars were there. Wow. And so they had hundreds of, over 100 of these cars were going to be on display over the next couple of days. Oh. So they had just arrived from all over the nation. Actually, about 5 of the cars got damaged pretty well, but not too bad. A lot of them were in trailers and things. But when I arrived at the resort at 10 o'clock, right after the storm came through, just the devastation was unbelievable. Our main drive-in, we had probably 150 to 200 trees over the main drive-in, and all the telephone wires, all the telephone poles, all the way up and down the resort were knocked down. So, once we started to kind of digest what had happened, we made the goal on Monday of our only goal was to have 0% occupancy by the end of the day. Which is, can you imagine that as a hotelier to go, yeah, our goal is to have 0 people here tonight. And our staff just rallied again, just like Mark said. We had the staff rally behind it.
Pretty incredible thing. That the beauty of it is nobody was injured. Yes, we had some buildings that were hit by trees and we lost some trees, but every day I realize that we're actually getting a facelift out of this. Out in the Classic, if I was talking with our superintendent, if he could have put a ribbon around every tree that he wanted to go, those are the ones that we lost. We're actually seeing some big improvements out of this, and some improved green spaces, and the positives are outweighing the negatives with all the opportunities that are being presented right now, and our area is really going to have a great season.
Well, it's a big deal for people to know that Brainerd's not flattened. I think there's a perception because of all of the stunning, aerial shots. The response was incredible, and they were so grateful that, that the staff rallied. I mean, we had every food and beverage person, was out and on grounds, and sort of that rally of there's no department anymore, there's one goal, and there's 400 people moving towards it. Yeah. We have an amazing group of people here, an amazing group of people.